Cold calling is dead. That's what I used to think. I would be like, why would you call one person at a time, get rejected a bunch of different times when you can just use AI to send a million emails? And yeah, obviously you're just going to get way more replies and way more business from doing that, right? Wrong. I did the cold emails. I've done the cold DMs. I've done Facebook DMs. I've done LinkedIn DMs. I've done, as I said, emails, texts, every single outreach approach, more or less, I have tried. And none of them have been nearly as effective for me than cold calling. And let me tell you why I love cold calling so much. Back when I was running my other company, we would send thousands of emails per week. Just thousands of emails going out. We would use AI to personalize the first line. So it would have a trigger based on what was going on in their world. And then it would have a soft call to action. Like it wouldn't be, oh, book a call. It would be, is that something that would even interest you? And we would read the email and be like, woo! This email is so cold. Of course they're going to reply. Just to open the inbox the next day and have zero replies. I'm talking, I wasn't even getting no's. I was getting nothing. And that's the thing about cold calling that I love. Obviously, some people will go to voicemail. But once you've got somebody on the phone, you are leaving that call with something. It's a yes or a no. And I just love the fact that it just gives you direct feedback. The thing about email is there's so many moving parts. You could send an email to somebody. One, they might not even get it in the first place because of spam filters. Two, it might go through to their inbox, but they have a bunch of other emails that look exactly like yours. So they might just not even bother reading it. Three, they might read it and your copy might just be trash. But you don't know which of those three variables is the reason people are not replying. Whereas if you call someone up, and you hit them with a pitch and everyone just keeps saying not interested, not interested, get off my line, delete my number, you just know you're doing something wrong in your approach. You can tweak it, you can improve it because you actually got through to the person. And this is why, even though I see so many people online are going all in on cold email, don't get me wrong, it was a skill issue on my end. Some people are absolute wizards with it and they can make it work. But I believe for a beginner, for someone just starting out, someone who's in my position, maybe a few steps behind or a few steps ahead, just pick up the phone and call someone because you will just get feedback. And it's that feedback that will allow you to then send good emails. Because if you keep hearing the same objections on the phone, you can address those objections in the email. And an email allows you to then scale. But there's no point just trying to send a bunch of AI slop to people because that's what everyone else is doing. Everyone else is typing, oh, ChatGPT, write me an email to send to this business owner. Everybody and their mum is doing that. So you're not going to stand out. You're not. Whereas if you pick up the phone, yes, you'll get rejected a bunch of times. However, people will at least respect the fact you picked up the phone and then you can tweak your offer. You can be like, okay, this approach is not working. Let me try this approach instead. I booked 2 meetings. Let me try this approach instead. I booked 5 meetings. But if it's email or DMs, you're just competing with everyone else who's flooding these people. The other thing about cold calling is just way less competitive. Why? Because the average person is an incel. The average person cannot pick up the phone and speak to a human being. They're scared. It's so easy to hide behind the keyboard. Anyone can type a message into ChatGPT and send an email. Anybody can do that. Not everyone has the courage to actually just get up and say, look, I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to get rejected and I'm going to pick up the phone again. And I'm going to keep doing that until somebody says yes. That takes a certain type of person. That takes a lot of resilience. Most people don't have that. Most people don't have that resilience. Most people are scared. Most people will let their fear rule them. I'm talking to somebody who 3 months ago when I started my series where I've been doing weekly cold calling videos, I was terrified. I was so scared to pick up the phone. The first few times I got rejected, I hated it. It felt personal. But going on that journey and facing that fear, most people aren't going to do that. So now I'm in a position where, yeah, I'm not a millionaire yet, but I have a fundamental skill which is going to make me a millionaire. I can guarantee it. I can absolutely guarantee it. And I'm going to document the whole thing on this channel. So stay tuned for that. But this is why I say cold call, because it's not just about actually getting feedback. It's also about developing a skill that you're going to need regardless. You're going to need to learn how to sell regardless. Even if you send thousands of emails and you book a bunch of meetings, guess what? You still have to take the meeting. So if you've never had to interact with a business owner before, you're going to be terrified for that meeting. You're going to be sat there like, I'm scared. What if they reject me? What if they ask me a question I don't understand? Because you haven't been punched in the face 1,000 times like someone who's been cold calling. When you've been cold calling and you book a meeting, it doesn't phase you, because a meeting is way easier than a cold call. Because a meeting, you're speaking to someone who actually wants to speak to you, who's actually set aside time to speak to you about your specific offer and how you can help them. When you're cold calling, you're speaking to someone who isn't expecting to hear from you, who doesn't care about what you do and only cares about themselves. It's way harder. But if you can perform on level 100, guess what happens when you play on level 3? It's way easier. Like if I told you, bro, go run a 5K, you might be unfit. You might be like, oh yeah, 5K, that's a lot. But if you've run a 10K before, guess what? A 5K becomes very easy. If you run a 20K before, guess what? A 10K becomes very easy. My point is, challenge yourself, put yourself on a high level, so when you come down to an easier level, you find it way easier. Hiding behind the keyboard, anybody can do that. Anyone can do that. And there's going to be people, like, of course, you can still make money doing the DMs and doing the emails. There's countless millionaires out there. There are countless ways to make money. I'm just giving the advice that I wish someone gave me when I started my business journey. It took me about 12 months to start cold calling. I did email, I did DMs, I was building my personal brand on LinkedIn. I was doing all of these things. But nothing has been more effective than just picking up the phone. Even the people who didn't turn out to be clients, they gave me feedback. They told me why my offer was bad. They helped me to tweak the offer. And that is now a fundamental skill, which not only is helping me on the actual meeting side of things, it's just helping me become a better person, a better man, more resilient, more confident. This is why I just suggest pick up the phone, man. Yes, it's scary. Yes, you're putting yourself out there. Yes, it's easier to just sit behind the keyboard and write a DM or write an email. It's a lot easier to do that. But because it's easier means, guess what? Anyone can do it. And if anyone can do it, guess what? The competition is high. And if the competition is high, guess what? Unless you have a killer offer or a bunch of case studies, which I'm guessing you don't if you're watching this video, you're probably just starting out, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to cut through the noise. And they've heard it all before in the DMs. But if you call someone, you can at least hear their voice. They can hear your voice. They know you're a real human being. And in a world of AI, what people crave more than anything is personal connection. People want to be connected to other human beings. Because in a world full of AI, it's just robots doing random stuff. They want to speak to an actual human being, not some AI slop that they've just received in their email. And they're like, he didn't even remove the M dash. How embarrassing. Honestly, man, just pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. It will change your life. I promise you that. You will look back in 3 months' time. This is from someone who started 3 months ago and looks back 3 months, and I am like, snap. That one decision changed my life. It was so painful. There were days I could barely sleep. My heart would be beating. When the phone would be ringing, I'll be like, oh, I'm scared. What if they reject me? What are they going to say? And my mind would be racing. However, I had to face that fear. And now I'm on the other end of that fear. And now I just see endless opportunities. Endless opportunities. And it's because I made the decision to actually pick up the phone, to face my fear, to actually be courageous and not just take the easy path, because the easy path, everybody takes that. The reason it's hard is because it's worth it. If it was easy, everyone would be successful. If it was easy, everyone would be a millionaire. If it was easy, everyone would have the life that you want, and you wouldn't even want the life because everyone would have it, so it wouldn't even be special. The fact it's hard is why it's worth it, and why you need to go down that path, and why you need to face that fear, and why you need to just tell yourself, look, this is difficult, but I'm doing that for my future self. I'm not even thinking about my current self anymore. I'm doing this for my future self. I'm doing it for him so he has freedom. I'm doing it for him so he has a business. I'm doing it for my parents. I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it for all the people who believed in me. I'm doing it for all the people who doubted me and said I wouldn't do anything. I want to prove them wrong. I want to tell them, look at you, joke man. Whatever your fuel is and whatever your motivator is, cold calling is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Trust me. Maybe it's gonna take me having to buy a yacht or to be in some nice penthouse villa for you to listen to me. But for those of you who are locked into the channel now and are watching me at the stage I am now, I want both of us, bro. I want both of us to be successful. I want both of us to one day I do a channel meet and greet and we all just fly to Greece. We all just fly somewhere because I'm going to do it. I'm 100% going to do it. I'm going to be a millionaire. I know it. But I want you to believe it, that you're going to do it too. And I want you to do the things that it takes too, because it's difficult. The last few months of my life have been some of the hardest months of my life. It's been difficult. You get punched in the face every single day. No, no, no. I got racially abused. I've been told to F off. I've been told all of these things. But at the end of the day, it's only made me stronger. And it's only given me more fuel that's going to take me to places, man. So, if you're one of those people who you're in the spot where I was in, where you've tried the cold DMs, you tried the cold emails, maybe you get a bit of results, but it's just not as much as you would want. You want quick results. You want to be booking meetings quicker. You want to be having more conversations, but ultimately you want to be improving yourself and actually having self-development because ultimately you are the business. If you don't have the skills, if you don't have the character, neither does the business. You are the business. So if you want to develop yourself so that you can eventually lead a team, so that you can even the next step is just book a meeting. And once you book the meeting, sit the meeting. And once you've sat the meeting, close the meeting. Once you've closed the meeting, deliver for the client, have to manage the client. All of these skills compound once you have the skill of communication. And communication is developed from cold calling. And communication is the only skill that matters in this day and age. In an AI world, communication is all that matters because communication is how you can sell your ideas to another human being. Communication is how you can sell what needs to be done to AI to bring your idea to life. Communication is all that matters. And you're not going to develop communication by asking AI to write you an email and sending that to a bunch of business owners. You're not. You're not. And it might work and you might make a bunch of money from it. You might, but you still have to then have the meeting, as I said. So you still have to have the meeting in order to make the money. And the meeting will be harder if you do cold email than it will be if you do cold calling because you just don't have that experience. But I hope I've got my point across. Pick up the phone, call people. Let's all make it this year, man. I'm excited for this year. I think we're all onto something big. And I don't want to leave a single one of you behind. Those of you who have subscribed to the channel from this point, when I've got 30k subs, 50k subs, 100k subs, you lot will remember videos like this. And yeah, I just hope you find this video useful. Get calling, man.